And that is the reason why I took it on as a responsibility to train and help in the developers, brokerages, just on social media, Instagram, YouTube, to educate the market so that everybody has access to that kind of information.
How do you bring that trust? How do you bring that authentic relationship with the clients?
Would your approach change if it was mom and dad compared to just anyone else? And if the answer is yes, then I have a problem with it.
Absolutely. So, do you want to leave Dr. Anand with a few words for the audience on what's the best way?
You will not realize it. Every conversation that you're having over the cigarette or coffee is shaping a perception.
Absolutely.
So choose very carefully who you want to listen to
And
or
engage
work
with.
with. Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this fantastic episode. And I am truly delighted and excited to share with us a very special guest, a phenomenal entrepreneur, someone who is doing amazing mentorship among the youth and people in Dubai, and also helping them enlighten with the latest trends, especially in the real estate and so on. I would like Dr. Anand to introduce and tell you all about his journey and how it all started. Hello, Dr. Anand. How are
Thank you for having me on this podcast. Well, actually, it started because I've always had the desire to want to help people. And I wanted to help people more by educating them, making them more aware about themselves, their own abilities, and to become the best at what they do, whether it was technical skills, whether it was intellectual skills. I really wanted to do that for people. So I started doing that naturally, and eventually I moved from hospitality and airlines, which I was part of, moved into real estate and investments.
Okay.
When I got into real estate and investments, I realized that there was a serious need.
Right.
Because while a lot of people were coming into these industries, they come in without salaries.
Absolutely.
So that means the only way they really start making money is when they begin to close deals and help the buyers and the sellers find the apartments and the opportunities. Now, for you to do that, you have to remember that you're most of the time talking with the millionaires and the billionaires of the world. These are smart people. They're educated, they're evaluated, they've had international experiences, they've met real estate salespeople and professionals in other parts of the world. So we can never assume that I'm the only guy he's meeting. So if you want to connect with those kind of people and get them to believe in you so they can put their 2 million on the table, you have to be able to resonate and catch their imagination.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason why I took it on as a responsibility to train and help in the developers, brokerages, just on social media, Instagram, YouTube, to educate the market so that everybody has access to that kind of information. You might work in companies that invest in training, but there are others that don't. And there are sometimes some very real salespeople who have come in here not just because of the money, they want to add value, but they've ended up in companies that don't invest in them. How do we reach these people?
Right.
That's the reason why I went onto social media and I made it my mission to train the whole city of Dubai.
Wow.
That's what I've been doing.
Dr. Anand, this is something of valuable knowledge, that when someone is coming to you or for his big investment, chunk of his savings, of his hard-earned money, and then having that solid, authentic trust in the party. Like, I think this is how the most important factor applies. How do you bring that trust? How do you bring that authentic relationship with the client?
Okay, for me, trust is built on 3 main principles. The first is your intent.
Yes.
Your intent. Are you only interested in closing the deal so you can make some money? Believe me, it shows. That intent shows. Remember, these are millionaires of the world, highly perceptive people. They're not fools.
Yes.
They may not say something, but they're already figuring you out. So the intent, do you really want someone to get an amazing home? They're going to be taking their wives and children and living in that. And if you sell them something that is not good, they're stuck with it because they know it's a bad investment.
Yes, absolutely.
And even if they have to sell it, they're not going to get a good return. So the intent must be very, very important. So one thing I always tell people is, imagine your mom and dad came to you. You've been in the industry for some time, and then they tell you, I got this little money, one of my deposits are matured. Please help me to find a good home as an investment. Would your approach change if it was mom and dad compared to just anyone else? And if the answer is yes, then I have a problem with it.
Absolutely.
Okay, why should it change? Is it mom and dad's money that is more important? The other person's money isn't? So the intent is very clear. Now, you don't have to tell the client, you remind me of my dad. That's cheesy. That's
Yes,
a very
yes.
low down sales approach. You don't need to do that. If intent is genuine, people will catch the intent. That naturally builds trust. The second thing is, make a friend.
Yes.
Get to know the person, get to know their family, get to know the driving motives, get to know what have been the fears and concerns from the past. People are carrying those, whether they experienced it or they heard it from the others.
Right.
So they need to see that you are friend enough, because what's the reason for this? When your friend sits and talks to you, you're open to listening to things. And you even give permission to friends unconsciously to even question you and challenge you at times. You may still do what you want to, but you're open to listening to them. I would never give that to a salesperson,
Right.
but I would give it to a friend.
Absolutely.
So if you can build that rapport and relationship, they do. And the third way you build the trust is you become a trusted advisor.
Absolutely.
One, you're my friend. Second, you're a trusted advisor. How do I see that? Your knowledge of the market, the current global trends,
Yes.
what's happening in Dubai, the geopolitical scenarios. How do you read and interpret reports, lifestyles, different communities? What is the actual product offering? Your own legacy. How long have you been in this? Who actually works with you? So all of this comes together,
Yes.
and then a person says, I can trust him when I ask a question because I know the answer I'm getting will make sense.
Absolutely. And I think you being in the industry for so long, and you're such a familiar face, and you're going to be the next in a few half an hour as a speaker at the Gladiator Summit for the second time. I think that this authentic feeling of care that you have for the common person who is connecting with you, and then the wealth of knowledge and the wealth of expertise of your years of experience that you're bringing in is very rare, because sometimes I believe in this industry so many people are selfish. They will just do that one deal, and then the ties are off. But with your platform, it's like the safe haven that people can come to a safe space and bring on their investment in your hands.
See, that is also part of the intent. Intent is not just getting the person to feel that this person genuinely cares. Intent is demonstrated in how much time you invest in learning your own community's product because you genuinely want to deliver sound advice.
Yes.
So, how well you know your markets, how well you understand the opportunities is one more indicator that your intent is correct.
Yes.
And if you can do that, then the world is yours. Anyone will come to you.
That is such a valuable lesson for the generation who's coming into entrepreneurship. They need to look at the long-term goal. They need to. So, can you also tell us, how can people connect with you if someone is coming outside the UAE and they want to connect with you and they want to have their investments?
Okay, it's very simple. I'm available on LinkedIn as well as Instagram, and maybe you can put my handles if you want onto it. It's fine. They can just reach out with a message to me. Today, I'm accessible to the world. Everyone knows me in real estate, and they get me easily. All my details are on my Instagram. It is anand.means.business. It's very easy.
Please, everyone.
Yeah.
I would like to repeat that again.
It's anand.means.business. Basically, Anand means business with just a dot in between the words. And so today I have investors from Singapore, from the US, from Canada, from Africa, from India, all over. Because what's happened is people who have been watching what I do are actually reposting, and that's how it gets out there even further. So people can reach out to me. At the end of the day, they don't have to buy from me. They might be working with an agent whom they like, but they may just want a second opinion or just the reassurance that yes, that person is good, they're giving you good advice. Let them reach out to me as an ambassador for real estate in Dubai. I'm not going to take you as my client. I'm going to tell you that person is a good person. What I'll tell you, I don't know the person, but what they offered you does make sense.
Yes, absolutely. You need that comfort and that complete with conviction that what you are getting into by having this valuable advice from the expert who has been in the market and who has been comparing it with other markets of the world, which brings me to the next question. Do you see UAE as a valuable place to invest, a high security platform, comparing it to the rest of the countries of the world, and how people can feel safe into bringing their investments inside Dubai?
Yeah. Let's look at the facts on the ground instead of my opinion. We are today the number one performing market in the world in terms of yields.
Yes.
The rental yields, capital appreciations. We are tax friendly on those yields. It does not apply. So that itself puts us in a different category compared to the best markets in the world.
Absolutely.
Also, in addition to that, with the number of transactions that we're doing every day, for example, if you just look at last year, we did 166,000 transactions worth 634 billion.
Amazing.
Now, today, in the last 3 years, we've had 373,000 millionaires who have invested 1.5 trillion in the market.
Phenomenal.
So we know, again, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, right? Just launching fancy buildings means nothing. Someone must buy. Every single launch is selling out in Dubai. Even when the ready homes are being handed over, people are absorbing.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So we can see that the market has got the appetite for it. Now, what is important for real estate to do well is it should be part of a sound economy. You cannot separate real estate from the economy. Another word for real estate is infrastructure.
Right.
Today, we are the number one stable economy in the world. The US World News reports. Last year, we were number two. Switzerland was number one. We're now the number one most stable economy in the world. We are also one of the most safest cities in the world.
Amazing.
We have the highest increase of new population coming in. 70% in the next 9 years are coming in.
Amazing.
So why would these people come? We are pulling the attention of the world for business. We're pulling for safety, for education, for healthcare, AI, global conferences and conventions, hospitality, retail.
That's a
On
no-brainer.
every front,
Yes.
today Dubai has become the center of the world. So it's only natural when you have a strong economy, open culture. Look at the government here, how they create their policies. It's only natural more and more companies are coming in, people are coming in. Therefore, real estate is at an all-time high.
And why not have these people avail the benefits that people are reaping with all these dynamics coming into such a perfectly streamlined, opening doors for you towards making money, and at the same time having it safe. So I think there is a no-brainer here. What advice would you like to give to anyone who comes to you, and what is the first step that he can take in investing, baby step towards a slowly gradual?
So we're talking of a new investor.
Yes.
The first thing I would do is I would sit with you and understand your investment appetite. We have different kinds of investors. There are those who are the high risk investors. They spend minimum amount of time in the market and generate the highest possible return, and then they exit. So those are people who come very early. They invest in sand, but they have a high risk appetite. Not everyone is like that. The second are the security investors who come in for more long-term opportunities. So the first thing to do is to sit with the investor and find out which type of investment appetite does he have.
Is suitable for his situation.
People come and say, how is Dubai South doing now? Or I'd like to buy in Emaar beachfront. Or I want Damak Island. You say, oh, hang on a second. Those areas you mentioned are not going away anywhere. They're still here. They're not running away. Let's first talk about you. What type of investments have you typically done in the past? Those give you an indicator. Or what's the main reason you're coming to look at an investment? How long do you plan to stay in it? What's the dominant buying reasons? Once we understand that, and for those reasons, how much are you looking at investing? Now the areas will start to emerge, the projects will start to emerge. You don't look at the project and then commit to it. You first understand the personality of the person, then you fit the project to that. Some people are more comfortable only with government developers. They do not want to work with private. So you need to be finding out and evaluating all of this in the beginning rather than just trying to push something to someone and tell them it's good. When there's a new launch, anyone comes, we say Emaar is having a great launch, Damak is having a good launch, Shobha is launching. You don't even check the appetite of the person, and if the appetite matches that, then yes, it makes perfect sense.
This makes so much sense because you are bringing in a bespoke, a customized portfolio designed to help that particular unique client. This can only be done by an expert, someone who's new in the market. I come across so many phone calls, Dr. Anand, where they're just saying, would you like to do this? Because they're pushing it down your throat, without us even like asking, what is it that we are looking for?
Yeah, again, see, to a large extent, that's why I said all these new people are in two groups. Those who honestly don't care, I'm just here for the money. These are the guys who push. Second, there is a group I do care, but no one has taught me the best way to do this. So I'm learning by watching my colleagues around me, and if they are these kind of Mickey Mouses
Yes.
who just do it, that's what I pick up and that's what I understand. Because he's been here for 2 years, this is working.
Yes.
So I become like them. So this is the challenge we have, which was the reason why we went onto the internet and started to create platforms to help people understand the correct way of entering the market.
Yes.
That's really important to do. Some of them, unfortunately, right intent, wrong approach.
Yes.
Because that's what they saw around them and that's what they learned.
And they don't have the right people to follow. Do you have like a certain, I think I also would highly be interested to join. You have a platform to train these enlightened people who would like to enter the market, and I think you have this platform. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, what we do now is we run a program called the M&A Ambassadors,
Okay.
where we are actually training the market. Every time a new article comes out, a new report gets released, we put out a little video. They're saying, what does this report actually mean? How does this influence you and the future of real estate? So we educate on those. We also put skill-based videos. So, for example, we're talking to a client, but the client doesn't believe in the value of the product. He believes it's too expensive. What's the most effective way of handling that?
Yes.
So we give them the skill, the techniques, but we also give them knowledge as well as the updates on the market and the industry. It is there. Anybody simply follows Instagram or goes from there to our YouTube channel,
Yes.
they will get everything they want. It's all there.
And if they want to connect with you, they can get in touch via the Instagram link.
Yeah. They just have to drop a message. Even my phone number is in there. They can reach out on WhatsApp. Even today, I've had about 50 people who have come to me and said, keep doing what you're doing. We've learned so much. It's been amazing. That's when we know we're making a difference. All of us. I know now when we go for the break for the lunch, there will be 100, 200 who will walk up to me.
We are so lucky to get Dr. Anand's attention at this time, because he is doing a real service, and this is a selfless service, and the feeling of care that he wants to enlighten these motivated individuals but don't really have the right track, the right place to go and find the skills and learn from the best. So, do you want to leave Dr. Anand with a few words for the audience on what's the best way forward?
Okay. Now, I'll give you something for investors and I'll give you something for the brokers and the salespeople. Firstly, the investors. Okay. If you are looking to invest in a city like Dubai, please understand what our city represents. Today, Dubai has become the solution to the problems of the world.
Absolutely.
If you're living in the Middle East, you cannot even plan for tomorrow morning. You don't know you're waking up.
Yes.
We have published 17-year agendas, the 2040 Master Plan. We have the 10-year agenda, the D33 Economic Agenda. We have published it on the internet for the world to see. We are helping people come to Dubai, but understanding what we're putting as a business ecosystem and as a lifestyle, so people can actually make plans.
Amazing.
In most of the cities here, you cannot even plan to wake up. So from a safety perspective as well, we have become a solution to the world.
Right.
So living in the US today, and your kid goes to school, you don't know if they're coming back in the afternoon. You don't know. I know
100%.
people where the parents jump literally when the phone rings. They don't know if it's a call to say there's a shooting in your school. But today we are offering that solution as safety.
In power countries like the US and everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. I'm saying. So today we have that safety here. Now, if you talk in terms of taxation, it's killing people around the world. We have one of the most friendliest tax structures in the world. So you actually get more out of your earnings for yourself to use rather than what you're giving into the government.
Absolutely.
Now, the government only takes care of you once the income tax comes in. When we have an income tax structure coming, and I definitely believe it will come in the future, but with the vision to be number one in the world, it means two things. when we have to be number one, we have to be the best, not just in infrastructure. We have to be the best in education. We have to be the
Yes.
best in hotels, best in retail, best in the airports. We also have to be the best in our taxation structures.
Yes,
Because if
absolutely.
my taxation structure is not more attractive, why would the other person leave their country and come here?
True.
So that is what people need to understand. Even if we do have more taxes in the future, which will come, and there is a reason why it needs to come, infrastructure needs to be funded.
Yes.
But it will be one of the best structures in the world. So that's
No
what I
doubt.
would tell an investor, that here is where you are safe with your money. You make the highest returns because of being tax friendly. The safety is there, which is why most of the families are choosing to come to Dubai.
Yes.
Millionaires of the world are migrating here. So it's a great opportunity for you. Don't lose it. Just make sure you work with the right agent in the market.
Yes.
Now, for the brokers who are coming in the market, especially those who are new, be very, very careful who you listen to.
100%.
You see, honey always attracts flies. When you are new in the market, you are highly absorbent, but you don't yet have the maturity in that company or the
Oh.
market to decide, am I listening to the right guy?
Right.
Just because someone has been there for a year or 2 years doesn't mean he's the best person for you to listen
This
to.
is where they make the mistake.
Exactly. So that is my advice. If you are a broker and if you're new coming in here, be very careful who you listen to, because they will shape your understanding and your world of real estate. And it's only a matter of time you will become exactly like them.
With their limited beliefs
Yes,
and
because
experience.
people don't take your permission to shape your belief. They are going to do it anyway over every coffee, every cigarette break, which in my view
Yes.
shouldn't even happen, because I don't believe cigarettes are good for anyone. But it's still, that's the reality. So even in the middle of all of that, you will not realize it. Every conversation that you're having over the cigarette or coffee is shaping a perception.
Absolutely.
So choose very carefully who you want to listen to
And
or
engage
work with.
with.
Yes. Invest your time in finding the right kind of mentors. I'm not the only one. I'm sure there are a lot of others in Dubai
Yes.
who are doing this. Find these people. You don't even have to know them personally. Today, 50 people have come up and said, thank you for what you're doing. They found me.
And now 2,500 people will be coming to you after the
So, just like they found me,
Yes.
they found every agency in Dubai, every single agency, their people are sitting and watching me.
Right.
And that is, it's okay. I want them to make money, but I want them to make money doing
The
it the right
right way.
so that the buyers and
Of course.
sellers are also happy.
And this money that you're putting in is hard work. It's not coming like from the sky.
Yeah.
So why can't we take out time to do the due diligence and do the background check before we make this
Yeah, see,
commitment?
that is something which even the investors should be doing. It is your money. You cannot avoid that responsibility. Yeah, you
Yes.
have to do your own checking,
Yes.
due diligence, facts, etc. And if you don't do that, and if it's a monkey see, monkey do, there is a launch, everybody is buying.
Buying.
I'm going to. Do you know why the other person's buying? You have no idea.
Yes.
I'm buying because he's buying. He's done some research. He's probably thinking you did the research.
Right.
So everyone is thinking the other guy did the research. Who did it? And then they come in, and then they have these wrong perceptions, and then and then when they have a perception, they go and talk about it in the market. Now their perception becomes someone else's reality.
100%.
So this is very, very important. Find the right kind of person to work with, and your investment journey will be a dream in Dubai.
Beautiful. I think, Dr. Anand, we have got such valuable insights from you just talking today. And I can't wait to air this on live and have everyone connect with you and get to know you, because these are precious gems that are like here, and they are here for us to get the right info and make the right decision. Thank you, Dr. Anand. And once again, the Instagram link is
Anand.means.business. Basically, Anand means business with dots in between.
perfect.
That's
So you will be able to reach out Dr. Anand via the social links. He's got all his information. And thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Anand. It was
Thank you
an
for having
absolute
me.
pleasure. And
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
so
you for
honored
having
to
me.
have you.
Thank you.
And best of, can't wait to see you on stage now.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.